Well, hi guys, welcome to this midday market mood check on Moneycontrol. I'm Nandita Khemka, and if you look at the markets at the current juncture, it's not looking pretty given the fact that we've seen the Nifty slip below that 19,700 mark. We started on the back foot. We were maintaining those levels of 19,700, 750 or thereabouts, but now we have fallen even below that 19,700 mark. And if you look at the Sensex, we have seen a 500-point drop coming in on that index. Cut across the broader markets are also pretty deep, given the fact that the Nifty Mid Cap Index has also shaved off somewhere around 400 points or thereabouts. If you look at the Nifty advance decline ratio, well, 800 advances to 2000 declines, so not looking good there as well. Breadth is firmly tilted in favor of the losers. If you look at the sectoral movers, banks were the big drags given the fact that the index is down over a percent. You have all the private banking names like Kotak Bank, Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, all of these stocks are dominating the losers list today. Aside of that, you even have the Bajaj Twins, Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finance. Those were the top two losers on the Nifty last time I checked. Of course, Bajaj Finance came out with its numbers yesterday. You could call it an inline set of numbers given the fact that, of course, profit was below estimates of 30% on a YY basis, but 28% or thereabouts is what the profit growth looked like, and it was a tad below estimates. Margins also, saw some bit of contraction, but it wasn't as, deep as the street was expecting. So margins fairly, margins were eroded on the back of higher cost of funds, but not that bad. Brokerages, if you look at that, it's a case of bull versus bear because a lot of these brokerages like CLSA and Morgan Stanley were bullish, but this morning we had brokerage reports coming in from Goldman Sachs, wherein they have a sell rating on the stock. In fact, they've even cut the target price to somewhere around 7,205 rupees per share. Q2 operating efficiency is something that is positive when it comes to Bajaj Finance, according to Goldman Sachs. But the loan book composition, the margins, higher cost, credit cost, these were some of the negatives that were pointed out by Goldman Sachs. Aside of that, you also have Macquarie. That also came out with an underperform rating with rating on Bajaj Finance, target at 6,300 rupees per share. Now, the underperform rating is mostly because of high valuations. Let's look at some of the other large caps in focus. Aside of banks and Bajaj Finance, you have the likes of Wipro, LTI Mindtree, Bajaj Auto and IndusInd Bank. These stocks are in focus given the fact that they will be reporting their second quarter numbers today. For Wipro as well, revenue growth is likely to be muted. For LTI Mindtree as well, muted revenue growth expected. Margins are likely to shrink and hurt profit growth as well. For Bajaj Auto, margin expansion of 200 basis points or thereabouts is something that the street is estimating. And for IndusInd Bank also, some bit of margin pressure may come in, as deposits get repriced. And of course, you have profits that are expected to rise somewhere around 14% on a YY basis for IndusInd Bank. But asset quality is something that is likely to be stable. Aside of that, if you talk about some of the stocks that are holding out in a weak market, hands down, the Pharma pack. You have the likes of Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Sun Pharma. These stocks are gaining in a weak market. In fact, you also have names like Hindalco and Tata Motors that are holding out in a weak market. Aside of that, if you look at the mid-cap end of the markets, mid-cap IT in focus, you had L&T Tech that came out with its numbers. Margins were pretty strong, but that bit of good news is overshadowed by the fact that they have cut their revenue guidance. FY24 revenue guidance, from 20% to 17.5% to 18.5%. So that is something that came as a big disappointment, and the share prices are also reflecting that, given the fact that L&T Tech is down somewhere around 5% or thereabouts. Zensar is the other company from the mid-cap IT space that reported its numbers, and it's trading weak, somewhere around 4% down or thereabouts for that stock. Talk about ICICI Pru. The value of new business margins disappointed, and that is reflecting in the stock price as well. It's among the top losers from the mid-cap and the markets. You have Hindalco. This stock, I think, tanked somewhere around 9 to 10% as the government is weighing a stake sale via the OFS route. So that's another stock that's under pressure. Bank of Baroda, that stock is in focus given the fact that it's a Moneycontrol exclusive. The bank has suspended over 60 employees, including 11 assistant general managers, and this is relating to the case of the BOB World app, that was banned by the RBI from onboarding new customers. Now, RBI had flagged off, concerns over the manner in which some of these customers were onboarded. So, in a rectification drive, Bank of Baroda has suspended 60 employees, including 11 assistant general managers. So, that stock is also in focus. Aside of that, some more result reactions. VST Industries, trading lower in trade after a weak set of numbers. And if you look at some of the other Nifty 500 losers rather, you have MMTC. That stock has been on a gaining spree. Today it has come under profit booking. You have the likes of Syngene, Biocon, and Hindalco, of course, as I mentioned, and L&T Tech also on the losers list. What's gaining when it comes to the mid-cap end of the markets is IRB Infra, Spark, Triveni Engineering, Aarti Drugs, Suzlon. These are some of the gainers on the Nifty 500 index. In the second half, we'll be watching for all the results that will be coming out today. LTI Mindtree, Bajaj Auto, IndusInd Bank, Wipro. So lots of results to digest. And of course, tomorrow we have all the FMCG heavyweights, including the likes of HUL, ITC, Nestle. All these three companies will be reporting numbers, and we'll also have Ultratech Cement that will be reporting numbers tomorrow. So second half of the session, we'll have to see whether or not we manage to pair some of the deep losses that we are seeing on the index today. But of course, that we'll have to wait and watch, because the breadth looks extremely weak at the current juncture. 800 advances to 2000 declines on the NSE. That's it from me on this midday market mood check. But of course, I'll be back, in fact, at 1:30 p.m. With my colleague Mangalam Malu, and we'll be discussing the expectations from the FMCG universe. So don't forget to tune in for that. But for now, it's a goodbye from me. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Stay tuned to Money Control for all your other news and updates.